All right, I think we're live now.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. So what?
Okay,
So what's happening, Yoel? Talk to me.
all right. So I woke up one day in 2020, COVID-19, amid COVID-19, and I felt like shit. The shittiest I ever felt in my life. I thought it was a really bad hangover because that day I had a couple of more than two cigarettes, like 5 cigarettes and a nice two joints, two three joints that night the night before, and I thought, oh, this is probably just a long hangover, you know. So I'm just like, trying to walk it off as much as I can, eating really healthy, taking care of I actually go into like a keto phase when I'm trying to get as sober as possible. Like I just say fuck bread. I don't want to eat this. Anything high in the glycemic index, basically. Anything that would also inhibit nutrient absorption. Anything that would mess with the cells in your body in any way. Really, I get like crazy extreme when I'm trying to clean out my body because I know what I can do. And my friends ask me like, why are you so obsessed with being like with your diet? Because I feel the difference, bro. It's like the difference between me driving like a Lambo and driving like a Toyota. Like for me, it's retarded. So that's why I always try to take care of myself. But ever since that day, the day I started having sleep related breathing, like severe sleep related breathing issues, it's been much harder for me to stay sober, much harder for me to, So I don't smoke at work, thank God. I just smoke at when I'm after work. But it's terrible because now it's became an everyday thing, and it was never like this. My vocabulary changed a little bit. My the way I think of numbers changed a little bit. Like the way I do math in my head changed. Like I know a lot of things are changing because of the fact that I'm smoking too much and the fact that I'm not getting adequate sleep. Well, enough sleep. But I've been sleeping really well lately. I've been taking a lot of vitamins, thank God. And how you call it? It's been helping me quite a ton. I messed up my nervous system because this doctor actually, because I got this nose surgery, and this other surgeon, he removed my whole left middle turbinate without my consent. We did not talk about getting a turbinectomy whatsoever. So now I can't even do MS. I don't even know if I can do MSC because sometimes I have symptoms of empty nose syndrome in the wintertime, which is terrible. Like I have that feeling of not getting adequate oxygen, which means my body's not converting CO2 to O2 properly. When I'm sorry, no, it's not converting. It's not getting enough O2 into my body. Like it's not absorbing it. That's what I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because turbinates are supposed to turbulate the air. I think it was like control it, like shake it a little bit, because that way it doesn't rush too quickly into the back of the airway. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what humidifies the air, warms it, filters it, and makes it ideal for your lungs to inhale. And unfortunately, that can't happen if your middle turbinates, or the turbinates are removed or partially removed. They can't happen as well as it did before. But for a lot of people, actually, they show zero symptoms of how you call it, a lack of what they had before, basically. That's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people showed really really bad symptoms because and doctors were claiming, oh, it could be because the nerves are not regenerating properly because of a genetic predisposition the patient had that leads the nerves themselves, the structures, to not heal the right way. And so if they don't heal the right way, the person will exhibit signs of ENS for the rest of their life,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so on and so on. Getting to the point, I went to another doctor. No, getting to another. I digress again. I went to a doctor 2 years later to get something called cartilage implants, rib cartilage implants, inserted in the interior portion of the not interior portion, but the frontal, the interior most portion of the nose. That's situated in between the middle and inferior turbinates. That way, I can divert airflow away from the middle turbinates and towards the inferior turbinates. Unfortunately, I did both sides, and that problem no, unfortunately, I no, I did both sides, and unfortunately, that led me to develop something called mild autonomic dysfunction, which is when the heart doesn't know when to stop pounding too fast, and I get anxiety, and I
How
feel like
old, Yoel? How old are you, bro?
22 years old.
Jesus, man. Jesus.
I'm getting fucked up my ass. I know. I'm taking a lot of supplements. I take 14 supplements. I counted yesterday.
Just to feel
14.
normal?
Do I feel normal?
No, just to feel normal. You take all that
Yeah,
shit.
just to feel normal. Yeah, just to feel somewhat normal, like 80% normal, basically. If not,
Jesus.
I go fucking insane. It's crazy.
Jesus.
I'm so lucky I work at this place. It's retarded. If not, I would have probably off myself. I think that's what would have happened. It's
Uh,
crazy.
are you still smoking a ton of weed?
I smoke like a gram a day at least, a gram, 1.2 grams. I have to stop though. It's really fucking me
Why do
hard
you smoke weed? Why do you smoke
because
weed?
I can't put up with the stress of having. Because it's not just that issue I have. I also have a lack of feeling on my left side of air, and then I have UARS, and then I have sleep apnea. So I have a lot of shit getting shoved up my ass. Basically, I have a lot of problems just weighing me down so much that I just can't take it anymore. Like I just want to go conform with the amount of weight on my body already. I don't want to go against it anymore. Like the shackles, I don't even want.
Hang tight, bro. My audio got fucked up. What the fuck? What did I just do? Yo, can you hear me? Oh, I fucked up the audio. I fucked up the audio somehow. What the fuck? I was getting feedback because we were still in a FaceTime, and then I shut that off. Let me just close this out. Oh man. Settings, audio. Oh, I'm fucking up. We had such a good flow going, and I fucked it up. Let me try this. Yo, talk to me. Talk to me. Yo, check your audio input. Yo, to the people watching this live, can you guys hear Yoel? Can you guys hear Yoel? Can anyone hear Yoel? Yoel, give me an audio check, ABC. I can't hear you. No, they can't hear you, bro. Yo, go into your settings and fix your audio, Yoel. Talk, ABC. No. Maybe I can fix your audio settings. Mic settings. Yo, talk. Yo, Yoel, I'm going to kick you out. Yeah, good. All right, everyone. So we had a little bit of audio issue. So basically, let me just tell you where Yoel came from. He signed up for a one-on-one chat with me. And then when we got on the call, he was like, oh, so are we recording? And then I was like, no, but we can record. We can go live if you want. And so that's how we ended up on YouTube. Add to stream. He's back. All right, I think we're good.
We're good now?
I think so.
Okay.
Right.
Back on schedule.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, so awesome. So, damn, so how long have you been going through this struggle with why right now do you seem so sharp and alert and awake? Is it just the adrenaline from being on YouTube?
From you, yeah. From you, and the fact that I slept really, really good last night, actually, because I make sure my neck is like this, because for some reason when I sleep this way, with my neck facing this way in the supine and occluded position, directly on my back, I sleep like a baby. The doctor even said I sleep like a baby when I do that, because my airway is basically open like a normal person when I do this, and then go like
that's how I sleep too, bro. That's how I sleep too.
Holy shit! And you're constricted when you go like this, right, or like this?
Everyone is, yeah. Bro,
I thought that was just me.
No, that's why I've been telling people for the past year. I haven't made a video about it, but I've been telling people, sleep on your back with your head to the side.
Oh, I also make sure my bed's in a 22.5 degree angle. Like the back is in a 22.5 degree angle. Does that make any sense?
How many inches is that?
It's like oh shit.
7 inches? 8 inches?
No.
Look at my bed, bro. My bed is 8 inches high on the back.
No, that's oh wow, you do what I do. Holy shit. Yeah. And I sleep ever since I've been doing that, I've been sleeping really well. But yours is I feel like yours is a little too high though. Like no.
Nah.
I have to see the whole I have to see the other side, the left side of the bed, the left side, the very end.
The left side is low. It's at the ground.
Yeah. I want to see the distance between the floor and the frame itself. The distance between. Oh wow. No, you could lower it. You could still do some more. You could do a little more tilting actually, because what that does is basically it pushes the soft tissue away from the end of the throat. That's what it does, and gravity becomes your best friend when you sleep in this position. And I'll show you what I do on my with my situation in my apartment. It's amazing. Ever since I've been doing that, my sleep has improved on even more than it did on top of just doing this. Like I'm probably gonna do it for the rest of my life actually.
Yep, 100%,
and I actually
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I basically have a very long a very fat soft palate, and that's what's causing my UARS. And it's also causing a lot of negative pressure in my airway. And I also have a epiglottis that likes to move around like this every time I breathe in. It's like a floppy they call it a floppy epiglottis, but that can be easily treated once you push the jaws out. The thing is though, I'm worried about expanding I want to do expansion of 5 millimeters. I already have a very wide nasal cavity though. My nasal aperture is extremely big, according to Shiakai. You spoke with him before.
Yeah, Shukai.
Yeah, Shui Kai. He said my nasal aperture is 27 millimeters. I owe him $50, by the way. I know. I think I gave it to him already. Let me ask.
What do you owe him $50 for?
For doing the measurements. I paid him $50. Yeah, he took my CBCT scan. I sent it to him, and he basically decompressed the file. Looked into it and did the measurements, and then he sent them back to me. He's like, here you go. And he said, by the way, your nasal aperture is like 7 millimeters, like 5 to 7 millimeters above average, which is retarded. And so that makes it more risky for me to do even 5 millimeters of expansion. My intermolar width is 35 millimeters on both sides. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, thank God.
Can I see the roof of your mouth? I've seen worse, bro. I've seen worse.
I know. Mine's pretty good compared to most people. I could mute and breathe at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good it is.
So what are you, just recessed? Do you think you're
I'm just pushed back. Yeah. And how do you call it? Yeah, pretty much. But I wasn't from extraction, and it wasn't from extraction and retraction because I didn't get that. I only got braces by itself, alone, actually. That's all I got.
Can I see your side profile? Yeah, you're pretty recessed, bro.
I know. I look like a fucking the opposite of a Giga Chad. After I know fundamentally my genetics, like the way my face is developed, it's basically ideal for the average handsome looking guy. It's just my fucking jaw is so fucked up that it makes the whole rest of my face look like shit. Basically, it's so retarded.
You and a lot of other people, bro. Yeah. But
yeah.
But I still think you're a Chad, bro, because of the way you talk.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone says that about me. No, because it's innate. If you have a verbal IQ of 120, and then a performance IQ of 110, you're basically the average slightly above average from the average college student, basically. Mm-hmm. And honestly, though, I think that test was inaccurate. My full scale IQ is actually 118 last tested, but the thing is, though, I did it while having this jaw. Imagine while having no sleep apnea whatsoever. Neurotransmission will probably increase by maybe 30%. IQ will probably increase by 5 to 6 points. So that's 118 plus 5 to 6 points, which is equivalent to what? 124 to 123, right? So that's still, So 123.
What would you do with all that intelligence if you had it?
I know I have it, but what I would do, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like a know-it-all. I just do a lot of research. Oxygen deprivation actually inhibits neurotransmission, inhibits cognition. And what would I do with it?
Yeah,
I would open an institution with 3 floors, one devoted solely to diet, 1 floor solely devoted to sleep, and 1 floor solely devoted to exercise. And I would have professionals on each floor monitoring, managing everything. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. An institution that's basically a foundation run on privatized charity. Meaning like people like me, like you, people, not the government. I don't want any help from the government because all they're going to do is raise inflation. I don't want that. I don't need that. That's bullshit. We don't need that. Yeah. Okay? We just want to do it our way, or I'm sorry, we just want to do it in a way that doesn't impact the economy itself. Basically, we want to in a bad way or in a deleterious way.
You don't want government grants?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe, but I don't want the government helping us too much because that's bad.
If the government helps you, then you're going to be beholden to them. You're going to have to push the corn feed.
You're going to have to push your status quo, and I don't want to do that. I want to push my status quo, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Why? How do you feel about the government?
I don't like them at all. I don't like them at all, bro. Come on, bro.
Why? What's the connection with that?
No, I can't say it here.
Oh, okay. No, but I know that. Would you be like?
No. It's just that we're very conservative. We don't like Jews. Not most Jews, actually. That's not true. Most Jews are actually democratic, but the Jews that are conservative are very conservative. And I actually happen to be a very conservative Jew. But anyone that's conservative knows, leave the government out of this. Do not let the government get involved in this. That's our philosophy. But
yeah. I heard that some of the Orthodox Jewish communities put up a big stink about some of the COVID rules. Is that true?
Yeah. We don't like
that's what you're talking about. You guys want the government to stay out and just leave you alone?
Yeah, but it's not me, really. You guys. There are different subgroups within the Jewish community, different customs, different types of ethnicities within the main ethnicity. Like there's different sub ethnicities. I think that's what it's called. Right. Like there's Sephardic, then there's Hasidic. And then there's how you call it? There was another one, I forgot what it was called. But the two types that I know are Sephardic and Hasidic. So I'm Sephardic. I'm not Hasidic. So I don't believe in everything Hasidim believe in. Hasidim is like the pluralized version of Hasidic. Like I'm not the type of guy to just believe in anything he hears or to. No, that's what everyone says. No, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like that isn't traditional. It's super traditional. I'm not traditional at all. I'm more of like a progressive conservative sort of thing. But I'm not leaning toward the left too much. Like just a little bit maybe. Like so insurance should be free. Yeah, fine. But like again, it would be better. It would be better if we found a way to make insurance free without the government's help, because that's less money being printed or being generated out of thin air, which is much better for society as a whole, because then you get lower inflation rates per every physical decade or physical generation. You actually, over a generation, that would have a shit ton of impact if you think about it, because there's less money being, again, generated out of the air. And that's what people don't understand. If you are voting for a president, you want to vote for a president who is as conservative as possible, who does as little as possible to involve the government in anything that involve a shit ton of money, because then unless it's maybe about school, maybe a little bit, but again, you have to be very careful, because okay, I want to get out of this subject because I want to talk about something. I want to go back to the airway.
Feel free.
Yeah, because it's politics. My political understanding is pretty scant, but it's just good enough that I can basically understand that we shouldn't be spending too much money on the wrong things. Basically, we shouldn't. But that's so stupid to say. It's like it's pretty hard to explain. But basically, try to be as conservative as possible with how you live life.
Let me ask you this one last question about politics. Do you think that small JAWs is a political issue at all?
Political issue? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is a political issue. But when you say political issue, you mean like an argument, right? Politics means arguments, right?
I mean, do you think that the government has any responsibility for the small JAWs epidemic?
Yes. It's a vitamin K deficiency. That's what I'm thinking it is, because I saw online multiple times, but they're saying it. There's hardly a relationship with it, and then you see the clinical research. I like clinical research, so there's actually a hard association between a hard association between vitamin K2 intake or vitamin K2 levels and jaw growth hormone factor. So how well the jaw will grow and develop. So that is unfortunately, there are people out there who think that vitamin K2 can kill you. When I take two pills a day of vitamin K2, MK7, MK4, and the regular phyto something, I forgot what it's called. Basically, the vegan version of vitamin K.
Do you think small JAWs is a conspiracy against the new generation to weaken the new generation, especially of young men?
Yeah. They say you're not using 100% of your brain. This is you're not using 100% of your brain. This is it. We're talking about it right now. The jaw not being long enough, because that actually inhibits every metabolic process that occurs in your brain. Literally every single one, by maybe a multitude of two to maybe not a multitude, maybe like by 20 to 30%. In some cases 40%, which is retarded. I'm a good example of maybe 20 to 25%. I could feel it. I feel it every day, because I know if I slept the way I slept I think a month ago, when I was so fucking quick. Holy shit. Like when I sleep perfectly, my brain moves so fast that I don't even realize that I actually my own body doesn't realize what I did, because the computer in here is just really quick. But at the same time, I could still be very stupid and still be very not stupid, like naive, like not know enough, because smarts can having a very fast processor can only get you so far. If there's not much information in the hard drive, there's not much you can do with that. It's like having the best gun in Black Ops 3. If the guy who's holding the gun is inexperienced with it, he's not going to really. By round 10, he'll be dead, because he won't know to get jug. He won't know to get double tap and so on. You ever play Black Ops? You get what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's all about it's not just about smarts. It's also about experience. So don't have any ego just because you're gifted something. At the end of the day, there's still a learning curve to everything in life. Sorry.
So what does that mean for you? Where do you fall on that spectrum? Do you have a lot of processing power, but not a lot of wisdom? I have a ton of processing power. Thank God. Yeah, thank God. But the thing is, though, I tend to have an ego sometimes, and it messes me up. So I try not to. When I was younger, I used to be very assertive. I'm extremely confident. That's my main problem. I'm too confident, and at the same time, I can be a little. I could show a sense. I could be less confident sometimes. It's really weird, and I can be extremely agreeable. Like even if I know something seems a little bit off, I'll agree with it anyway, because I just don't want agreeability. Basically, my agreeability is high,
But at the same time, like if I feel like something's wrong, I'll get very pissed. Like I'll like say, listen, man, I know for a fact this is wrong just because of this and this and this. And if they keep on insisting that it's right, I get neurotic and I just walk away. Or just like I want to get out of there because I know for a fact that I'm right about it. Like for example, like fluoride, for example, I know for a fact it messes with thyroid function. I know for a fact it messes with fertility. It's just as bad as soy, basically. And you know, people time and time again keep telling me, no, it's not people. One person told me that it was not that bad. And then maybe another, no, actually, that's the only guy I know. That basically, it's just that it's sad because they don't realize that it's actually fluoride is really a waste product. Just because it's naturally occurring in the environment doesn't exactly make it right to take it from a waste product. The waste product being aluminum. Every time you produce a can of Coke, I mean a can for the Coca-Cola company, a waste product is left behind, a byproduct left behind, and one of the byproducts happens to be fluoride. They take that fluoride and they said instead of putting it into the rivers because that's what they were originally doing, but that was fucking up the kids, so that was making it more likely for kids to come to develop cysts in their face and cysts in their mouth and tumors here and tumors there, cancers and so on. They said let's put it somewhere else. So let's put in what better place to put it than in the toothpaste? You know what I mean? So then they started putting it in toothpaste. And then they started putting in how do you call it? Let me see what else they started putting it in mouthwash because you could put it in there too. And they started basically popularizing this idea that fluoride is actually beneficial for the teeth because one of the symptoms of fluoride exposure is hardening of the teeth. So they took that symptom and they decided to side effect. They took that side effect and decided to how do you call it? Ameliorate that side effect by popularizing it upon the masses in a way that had a positive effect on the positive effect on the reputation of fluoride itself.
You seem to know a lot about chemicals and supplementation. I see a whole rack of vitamins behind you.
Yeah, that's my boss actually. He sells vitamins.
What do you think are the best supplements for a person to take during expansion or to grow their jaws?
Oh, so definitely a fuck ton of vitamin D and a fuck ton of vitamin K. Like when I say a fuck ton, I mean like 250 micrograms of vitamin K2. That way you get the anticoagulant and cardiovascular effect. You need the basically your arteries get stronger and the the calcium. Everyone has something called calcium deposits lingering in their blood vessels, right? So vitamin K2 actually takes those. It basically is a calcium transport. So vitamin K2 is, and it works alongside magnesium to tell the calcium deposits, hey, what the fuck are you doing there? Get the hell out of there and go back to where you're supposed to be. Calcium deposits are like little kids. You have to put them in their place. You have to put them where they're supposed to be. And they can have a tantrum, run around, make trouble. And then K2 and magnesium say, hey, what the hell are you doing here? You got to go back to, here, and here, and so on,
So if you were to do an MSE, you would do
D3 and K2 in a high dose. But I already take K2 and D3, but I take the K2 in a moderate dose, not a high dose. A high dose would be like 1,000 micrograms, but I wouldn't advise it unless you're doing it for a week straight. Then fine, it's not a big deal if you do 1,000 micrograms of K2 MK7 because MK7 is very bioavailable though. So I would say you could do. I'm not 100% sure. I would say maybe 300 micrograms for a week straight, but no, maybe 600 micrograms for a week straight, and then go back down to 250, which is the ideal daily dose.
What do you think of
the daily dose?
Have you heard of lactoferrin?
Lactoferrin, no.
Okay, someone just commented that lactoferrin might be a good supplement. I just was running that by you.
No, if it's probably it sounds like a calcium supplement because lactase. So it sounds like a milk supplement. It sounds like it sounds like it's associated with calcium. But if it has MK7, obviously then it's a good supplement. But if it has the MK4 version of vitamin K2, there are 3 types of K. Well, there's more than 3 types. There's actually more than 10. There's a million types of K. But the most popular 10 types, I can't really say it over here. I can see only the most popular 3 that sell in my store, which is MK4, MK7, and then K1. So K1 stays in the body for 24 hours. MK4 goes out of the body within 2 to 4 hours. And then K7 stays in the body for a week. Or it can stay in the body for weeks, which is amazing. Not weeks. It could stay in the body for 1 to 2 weeks max. Then it leaves. Your body naturally produces MK4 and MK7. Just unfortunately, some kids don't produce enough of it. So that's why I say people are taking a gamble when they're giving their babies just vitamin D alone because if their body's not producing enough vitamin K, their jaws are not going to grow properly. They will not grow and develop properly. That's where you get that jaw, that look of this. Not just what Mike Muse said. It's not just that. It's really also a nutritional deficiency. It's how do you call it? Something to do with the what's it called again? That word it was something to do with what you're doing on a daily basis, your daily routines. Well, your hygiene, your oral hygiene, how you're treating yourself, your posture, oral posture, how you're maintaining your face basically by yourself, not just with vitamins, but like in general, like how you're maintaining like your oral posture, so on. Your how do you say it? There's a word for it. For maintaining your body without vitamins, just maintaining your general posture of your mouth, basically. Maintaining that. Well, and then what was it again?
What do you think about HGH? Using HGH during expansion, human growth hormone.
Yeah, that's very good. Yes. And K2 actually stimulates human growth hormone. So there you go.
Would you do it temporarily just during expansion, just to help bone grow?
Yeah, but I would not do the human growth hormone the injections. No, I wouldn't do that. That's like skipping to the. That's like refining sugar. You're refining sugar again, or you're refining. There are companies that make these supplements. Here, let me ACE inhibitors, but they're derived from natural foods and natural herbs, and we actually sell those herbs in our store, in this store, as the how do you call it? And it's funny though, because they insist on taking the refined form when the form that's refined, most refined, actually has the most side effects compared to the form that isn't refined. Like, for example, red yeast rice is a statin. It's a very powerful statin. And you want to be taking vitamin K with it because statins in general inhibit vitamin K production. And if you inhibit vitamin K production, your teeth will fall apart, your gums will recess and resorb, and actually it speeds up the resorption. The resorption that usually occurs when you remove teeth, especially from the back. I actually had all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed in preparation for MMA. Maxillary. Sorry. I'm used to evaluating the words that I say, the abbreviations.
Shukai entered the chat and he just shouted you out. He said you got enough supplements there.
Oh no, that's not mine. That's for Amazon. I wish that was mine. I'm at work right now. I'm actually not even supposed to be talking to you right now, but I'm skipping an hour. My manager's very nice to me because I care about my customers. Thank God. You don't know, man. I work my ass off, like verbally and mentally, not physically. Thank God.
Ghrelin MK677. Ever heard of it?
Ghrelin is a for hunger. That's
a hunger hormone.
Yeah. It's So if you want to inhibit ghrelin, you want to go on the keto. The keto diet's actually the best. No, sodium. You want to consume a lot of sodium, but not too much, obviously. With moderation, of course, comes success. You want to do maybe a pinch of salt, not a pinch of salt. Well, a nice 3 shakes. In your cup, your glass of 6 ounce water, 6 to 8 ounce water. And drink that 3 times a day.
What's your favorite mind-altering drug?
Magnesium L-threonate. Mind-altering. That would be marijuana. What do you mean, mind-altering in a good way or in a bad way? I'm sorry. In a way that improves cognition, in a way that makes you hallucinate, in a way that does what?
In a way that makes you feel good and hacks your dopamine reward system as a cheat.
Oh, GABA and L-theanine are really good. And dimagnesium malate with B6 and B12, taurine and L-theanine. Yeah, taurine. Taurine's really good. Yes, taurine, holy shit, is a really powerful amino acid. If you guys take that every day, you'll feel very different, especially when you go to sleep. The next day, you'll feel amazing.
I think they have that in Monster. That's in Monster energy drink, right?
Yeah, and that's what makes it so addictive. People don't realize that the reason why they're so addicted to it is because they're addicted to the benefits other than the caffeine itself. That's what makes them less likely to show negativity, or not negativity, show reluctance towards consuming another beverage after consuming multiple beverages every single day for 7-8 days straight or 15 days. Like, they'll want to at least have one every single day because of that taurine effect. They want that taurine benefit.
Do you think the Monster energy drink is satanic?
No, I'm not crazy like that. I know it's not good for you. It really isn't. If you look at the back of the bottle, you'll see it says sugar, like 20, I think it was 20, 30 grams of sugar, and it's not stevia. It's raw cane sugar. I'm sorry, it's refined sugar, regular refined sugar, like sucralose, which actually elevates triglycerides, and you want triglycerides to be as low as possible. So it actually increases your odds of clotting, of developing plaque buildup in the arteries, which is really bad, and you don't want. Obviously, increases your likelihood of getting a stroke, getting a heart attack.
Yeah, but the Monster logo is the Hebrew Arabic 666.
Oh, that when you turn it upside down, flip it. Like
when you turn it upside down, it's an upside down cross, so it's like flipping Christ the finger.
That's so cool. Then again, humans are very good at finding coincidences, so you have to be careful. Again, fine, it could be. I'm not 100% sure. I don't like to look like an extremist because in this society, you sound like an extremist, some of your viewers are going to think, oh, I'm crazy. You know, like, I don't like to sound like that. Again, I may sound like an extremist of vitamin K maybe, but it really, if you look at the clinical data, scientists with PhDs, people who have been in the field for maybe 20, 30 years agree with me. So I don't sound crazy if people like that, you know, agree with my knowledge.
What about human breast milk and how much your baby's getting screwed over
Yeah,
by not
holy
getting
shit.
breastfed? Tell me about the chemical composition of human breast milk and how important that is for infants.
Oh my gosh. So I don't remember it because I was smoking while listening to it, but basically basically the proteins in milk are very unique. Actually, you cannot find those proteins anywhere else, and it's actually the best proteins you want to expose your baby to promote the propagation and production of probiotics, of vitamins like B vitamins. Actually, your body can produce its own B vitamins, and if you want your body to produce adequate amounts of B vitamins, even though the breast milk itself doesn't actually contain a lot of B vitamins, the probiotics within the breast milk actually cause the gut to produce a shit ton of B vitamins, and that's what helps the baby stay sufficient in all his or her B vitamins. That's the thing with breast milk. People don't understand. It's like the most powerful probiotic out there is breast milk. And people are still saying, hey, let me just give my kid baby formula because I'm not producing it on breast milk. No, take choline. Choline increases the production of breast milk. You hate breastfeeding? Why the fuck did you become a mother in the first place? You're an asshole. It's child abuse. My mom literally breastfed me for 3 months straight, and then that was it. She didn't realize it's a form. I feel like not breastfeeding your child is a form of child abuse. It is.
Do you blame your mother?
No, not at all, because society told her that it was fine. That's why. She trusted the doctors. They're fucking assholes. And my mom's agreeable like me, so she believed it. Just like I believe my Harvard surgeon when he said he wouldn't remove my turbinates, and he still removed my left turbinate anyway. Now I'm suing. I'm seeking legal action for it. So you see what I mean? You can be very smart. You can be very quick. But at the same time, if you're too trusting and agreeable, that'll be your downfall. That's the problem with this fucking world. You don't know who to trust and when to trust and where what to do, basically. You're not going to really, we do things with not 100% certainty ever.
No,
you think long and hard about that.
I know from when we were offline, I know the community that you live in. I know it's a kind of an insular community, or at least it was when my professor lived there 40 years ago. Is breastfeeding more common in the community that you live in than it is in broader American culture?
No, breastfeeding actually is less common because of the how do you call it? Because mothers are actually, the diets in the average Hasidic person is actually pretty bad. But the IQs of the average Hasidic person is pretty fucking high. So imagine they're smarter than me, actually. Not me. Like I'm saying, like the people in my like my subgroup in Judaism, like Sephardim, are actually not as smart as Hasidim. Hasidim actually come out smarter, which is ironic because they're actually the ones that are most agreeable with religion. You see what I mean? The smarter you are, the more likely I don't know, for some reason, you're more likely you are to be agreeable, but then it goes down. It goes right back. The agreeableness goes like this when you go past 130 IQ, because after that, your agreeableness, like, basically, you're less likely to agree with people if you're smart enough to understand right from wrong pretty quickly. But you'd be surprised though, because you could see people like Ben Shapiro with a 150 IQ. I don't know if he approximately 145, 150 IQ, and he's still insistent that Judaism is like 100% the best thing to go with. Like, if you're a Jewish person, stay with it, and then he also insists that everything that they say in the that's in the Torah is 100% true. But I don't know if he's doing it for publicity or because of to protect his reputation, to protect his job, and to protect everything else. And his life that could be affected if you were to make his views extremely transparent, because the truth hurts, unfortunately. So you want to be careful with that.
Are you a Ben Shapiro fan?
I am, yeah, but again, he's a bit of he can be a little stupid sometimes. But I agree with some things he says. I agree with some of the things he says. But
do you agree with his family values? Do you want to get married someday?
Of course, yeah, man. I believe in monogamy. I believe in monogamy should be enforced in a way, not in a bad way, like in a good way. Like we should be educating the schools instead of teaching kids how to be gay, teaching them how to get married. What a fucking gay? What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think that your jaws could hold you back from dating, or do you not feel that at all? Is it purely a functional thing for you?
I got laid 4 times already, so no. But like, you can laugh. Usually people laugh when I say that.
Is it true?
Yeah, I got lit. No, not 4 times. I got laid with 4 different girls.
Okay, all
But
right.
in general, I've had sex more than 50 times. So no, that's not holding me back. I think it's because of my personality. Because if the person can have a shitty face or a somewhat okay face, like at the end of the day, the personality is pretty quirky, like pretty witty. You know what I mean? Like, or pretty charismatic. There we go, not witty, charismatic. Because I'm charismatic, and if you have any form of charisma whatsoever, like if you can just extrapolate that and use it in a way that they'll benefit you sexually, there you go, boom, you get me. So you know what I mean. Even if your jaw is like a little in, you're still gonna get laid whether you like it or not because you have that person. But on Bumble, you cannot get laid because the face itself is not gonna show the person's personality. But
So how do you meet girls?
Oh, me out of nowhere. It happens out of nowhere, like at work or in how you call it in the street, literally middle of the street, pretty much.
Are you mostly
school.
dating like other girls from your community?
No, I dated girls outside of my community. Actually, tend to be actually my first ever girl asked me out. asked me out.
I don't believe that.
I don't know how.
That's bullshit.
Bro, I'm thinking about that now. Like my jaw's recessed. What the? And she likes guys with their personality. I have her name actually. You can call her. Her name is Taylor Ray Lapointe. Oh my god, everyone's gonna look at her. Everyone's gonna look up her name.
Nah, she'll be all right.
Me out, and she doesn't regret it to this day. Actually, she did regret it at first because like my mom got involved and she was not Jewish, and basically my mom made it a problem so much that how you call it, she even went as far as to drive her car on the curb where the apartment was a parallel to the curb, parallel to the curb that led to the entrance of where my ex's building was. And,
to like scare your ex, your mom was like trying to flex.
Call my ex a slut, this and that, whore, and so on and so on and so on. And it was terrible. She got very, very pissed, and she's like, "Listen, we're never gonna get together." I was probably gonna marry, but at the same time, I'm happy that I didn't because because she wasn't she's not serious. She's not mature anyway. I mean, she is mature, but she's not mature enough yet. I mean, she's trying to be mature, but it's very hard for her.
So you don't believe the black pill then? You don't think it's all about looks for a young guy? You're proof. I mean, are you proof that the black pill is bullshit?
It's really luck. It's luck. It's luck, and being lucky enough to be born like with a certain level of charisma. You don't have to have wits. You have to have charisma. Girls want charisma. You have to be charming. You have to sound how do you call it? Nice. You have to sound pleasant to be with. Because if you're pleasant to be with, you're pleasant to fuck with, right? There you go. Mm-hmm. So you want to have that. Men will never understand that. If you don't sound pleasant, if you don't sound normal, if you try to sound too pleasant or too charismatic, you're gonna fuck up. Also, you have to balance it.
So who gets the girl? Who gets the girl? The good-looking guy who has no charisma and is a poor speaker, or the below-average-looking guy who has really solid charisma and can talk a dog off a meat truck?
The latter, not the former. Mm-hmm. The former may get the girl, but he won't be able to maintain it. Mm-hmm. Barely. He'll be like a sex toy, like a reusable, like a sex toy you can only use once. He'll get fucked, yeah, definitely. But after 2 or 5 times, she'll say peace. Mm-hmm. On to the next guy. Because the likelihood that he'll be getting a girl that has a sense of that shows has a sense of or has a sense of not commitment. How do you say it? Knows how to show commitment or has, isn't. I can't think of the word. Infatuation. Yeah. People. A girl who is not just has a temporary love for you, can't talk so well, man.
A fling. Yeah, you're talking about girls who are looking for long-term relationships, girls that are looking to get married.
Commitment issues, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. If you're looking, the likelihood that the guy's going to land a girl with zero commitment issues is zero. The likelihood that he'll land a girl with commitment issues is 100% because she's looking for a guy that looks good and he's looking for a guy that also looks good. So the feeling's mutual. But the guy who can talk a dog and be smart as hell, at the same time also not be too smart, just smart enough to be know what the hell to say, know what not to say. Autism actually makes it hard for you to talk to girls. I don't know if you know that.
Do you have autism?
Some people say I do. I think I don't. I'm just too focused. I'm a focused person. That's the problem with me. And I think it's because of my sleep apnea. I'm sure I got psychoanalyzed, and they told me it looks like I just have ADHD. I got psychoanalyzed twice, actually, 2 IQ tests.
Do you think that your experience with girls has to do with the fact that you mess around with very high IQ girls, and very high IQ girls like very high IQ guys more than they care about looks?
No, she wasn't. The first girl I got wasn't a high IQ individual. She was actually pretty slow. She couldn't do basic. I mean, she wasn't super slow. She was just like. So no, it's automatic. No, it's not about that. It's not. It's. I mean, yeah, it's more likely that the high IQ girl is gonna want a guy with a high IQ though. 100%, I agree with you on that. They're not gonna look at the face that much. They're gonna be maybe 40-50% the face, but the other 50% is gonna be the smarts, though. You know, the how you got the personality and not just any part of the personality, but charisma. Charisma is the biggest one because that's going to be reflected on the child too. My father and mother are very, very charismatic towards me. They were very charming, very nice people, and that's probably why I came out like this, with the personality that developed, nice and finely tuned. I mean, then again, my sleep apnea kind of fucked it up a little bit. That's why I talked too fast.
What would you say to black pillars if you could summarize one piece of advice or comment or rebuttal to black pillars? How would you put it?
Charisma is everything. Charisma and a sense of control over what you're saying. You have to be charismatic, and you have to know you have to watch what you say, basically. And if you're going to say something, execute it right. If you have an idea, execution is everything, not idea. Ideas, you can have a million ideas. They can all be right. Every idea is actually right, by the way. Just the way you execute it is, that's what matters the most. And when I say every idea is right, I don't mean like literally every single idea, but every idea that a man gets to make a move on a girl tends to be right, but they're executed the wrong way. 95% of the time. I know this for a fact because I see it every day. I see it nonstop. You see like a chef. He has an idea, and the idea sounds amazing, but then he executes it wrong. Then guess what? The judges are going to say the food tastes like shit. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. But then again, the idea. I had a guy. There's a guy named I forgot his name. He's basically one of the best chefs in the world. I can't. My brain can't recall information like this.
Guy Fieri.
No. Some days I can't recall certain things, and some days I can. I wake up the next day and I recall it. It's so fucked up, man. And I smoke too much weed. So it's kind of messing with it too. There's a chef. I forgot his name.
Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay. No, close. You're getting very close. He's Gordon Ramsay. He was trained by Gordon Ramsay. Trained them. Mm-hmm. Gordon Ramsay trained them.
I don't know. Let me ask you this, Yoel.
Yeah.
I want to channel that brilliant mind of yours toward orthodontic appliances and jaw hacking. In a nutshell, how would you summarize the state of affairs of fixing jaws like yours? Where are we at right now? What are you considering doing in a nutshell?
Okay, so surgery is pretty good, actually. It's just, again, you're not gonna get everything right because you're still some level of dystrophy everywhere in the body. I just so happen to have not much dystrophy in the back of my jaw. Actually, I have almost zero dystrophy. It's just the front. Like I'm saying, like in terms of how wide the back is compared to the front. I actually have a lot of width on the back, and that's why I only have positional sleep apnea. That's why when I sleep like this, I sleep like a normal person. And
so you have girth, not length.
Yeah, I have a lot of girth, like a dick, basically. I have a short, but actually no, short wide dick, not literally. I had a lot of girth and not a lot of length. Thank God that isn't true down there, though. Thank God. It's actually the exact opposite.
Bullshit.
No, TMI though, 6 inches. Average, just average. You know what I mean? It's slightly above average.
All right.
Just enough to do the job. It's all about the size, though, guys. It's about how you use it. Like the position you're fucking in actually matters a ton. By the way, holy crap.
What are you talking about?
Sex, like the way you're effing the girl. You gotta eff her the right way. I know from experience. That's why, if you eff her this way, she's not gonna like it so much. If you eff her the other way, she's gonna like it a million. Even if you have like a 5-inch dick, like 4-inch dick, if you use it the right way, when I say the right, I mean the right positioning and the way you're
how would you coach a guy like in 20 seconds? Like how would you coach a guy to be good at that rather than be bad at that?
Don't ask her what she wants. Just give her what you think she wants. Do not ask her what she wants because then you become a bitch. Do not ask her. Use your instincts. Use that animal. Use your primitive instincts and you'll figure it out. That's what I did. And I figured it out. What the fuck? But don't think too hard and don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Meaning, like, don't go start shooting like a machine gun. You know what I mean? Take it all in. You know what I mean? Like
deep breaths.
It's just sex. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. It's a short affair. It's not a short affair. Whatever. It's 1 to 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty short for 24 hours in a day. I mean, technically 16 if you count 8 hours a day of sleep. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about monogamy though? I thought you said you.
Yeah. I know.
Thought that was important to you.
I believe in monogamy, of course. I'm talking about the past.
Yeah. Okay.
So
those days are behind you.
In the past.
You're not slaying anymore.
No, I'm not slaying. I don't want to. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking for someone who wants to marry. Actually, now I'm actually looking for marriage. But again, I'm not really not 100% though, because I still have to move my jaw. But once I move my jaw 100%, I'm going for the ring already. But
why are you waiting to move your jaw? Because you think you'll be able to get a better girl when you have a face fixed?
No, I need to be more alert. I have to be a better father. I can't be a good father if my jaw is in. I can't do the. I can't. I'm more error prone like this. I cannot do this. I cannot raise a kid like in this situation. I'm trying to raise the best kid possible, and the father cannot be hindered, and his performance as a father cannot be hindered in any way, shape, or form. That's what I believe in. Also, the mother. Literally, the wife that I'm looking for, I want to make sure her craniofacial anatomy is normal, because that kid's going to not come out so normal if it's not. My mom has bruxism. That's how I know this. My whole life tells a story. Literally, my dad has problems with his nose. He has polyps, and that's why he doesn't think. He can't think so well now. My dad used to be really smart, by the way. My dad used to build houses. He used to build, like, literally, he knows all the schematics. He knows all the instructions. He has it all in his head. And my mom used to be an accountant. She got 2 strokes, and each stroke can lower your IQ by maybe 4 to 5 points. So she took a big hit. She maybe has a 107, 108 IQ now. She probably 110. But she does it. She probably had like a 125 IQ for sure. She said she was an accountant. She was a writer. She knows 5 languages. She can write and read it. It sounds like a 125 IQ right there. And she wasn't too smart enough to go to a prestigious college, but smart enough to be smarter than most people in the room, basically. Everybody in the room, almost all the time. Because a 125 IQ, it's very hard to find another person with a 125 IQ in like an average store or a regular place. It's actually pretty hard. But if you go to an educational institution, obviously you'll find that anywhere. You'll find not any smarter, actually, if anything.
What are you looking for in a girl?
I'm looking for not smart. I'm just looking for smart enough to understand what I'm talking about, but not too smart, like smarter than me. I don't want that, because then there's the dominance hierarchy gets messed up. You know what I mean? You want to be, because girls are naturally hypergamous. I don't know if you know this already. You know this already. You want girls who are at least half a standard deviation below you in IQ. Like, for example, you have a 115 IQ. You want a 108 IQ, basically, as your girlfriend.
Why? Otherwise,
be exact.
Otherwise, she's going to keep shopping around. Is that why?
No, or else she'll be less likely to agree with you on any decisions, basically any important decisions. You want at least a half standard deviation gap, because if the standard deviations are if the IQ is exactly the same, it's less likely that you guys will come to a conclusion together or compromise with one another. You want her to be a little bit dumber than you, actually. It even says it in the Jewish book, and I think every book, actually, every religious book. You want a girl that's not smarter than you. It's a very stupid idea to have a girl that's smarter than you. Because I mean, again, you'll see on Disney Channel, you'll see a guy that's dumb and a girl that's smart. It's actually supposed to be the opposite. But Disney wants that because they want instability in society. Because instability breeds what? Stupid habits, like prostitution. So you know what I mean? Like you don't want a girl who's 2 times you. You want a girl who's smart enough but not smarter than you, because then she's going to start making all the decisions, and then you're not going to be a father anymore. You want some level of dominance in the relationship as a man. You don't want her to dominate you. And even if she is, I mean, then again, it's probably there are some cases where the girl can be smarter than you and still be very agreeable. There are cases like that. I've seen it firsthand, actually. A girl with a 130 IQ dating a guy with a 110 IQ. I could tell just from the way he talks and the way he looks and so on and so on. You can just see it.
Was he like good looking or something? How did they end up together like that?
I mean, his jaw is pretty long, but he's a dentist. I think he was a dentist. I think he's a dentist. Yeah, he's a dentist, and she is a architect. She's how you call it? She's into architecture. Like she's very also into interior designing. She's extremely fucking smart. I think she's between 140 and 150. The way her demeanor shows it, actually, you could see from her demeanor, like she's right there. She's right there in that range. You could tell from a person's demeanor how smart they are. Actually, it's pretty easy. Like if you see enough smart people, like you'll be able to already scan for who's smart, who isn't. Like I can tell from here, you're basically the same as me. I can tell, meaning in intelligence, we're probably around the same area, same range. By the way.
No,
like,
bro, you're way smarter than me.
No way. No. It's just that I happen to have. No, I don't believe that. There's no way. I don't. I refuse to believe. It's very hard for me to believe that I'm smarter than someone who I feel like is not as smart as me. Like I mean, who's not. I'm no. It's hard for me to feel like somebody how you call it is somebody who I feel like is smarter than who's as smart as me is actually smarter than me. It's very hard for me to feel like that.
Would you reproduce with a girl who's had premolar extractions?
Yes, why not? It's not a big deal.
Well, you said that you were looking for a girl that had proper craniofacial development so that you could pass that on to your offspring.
Yeah. Of course. I'm saying no. Not like that. Like, if she has a narrow jaw, I'll fix it and then, reproduce, right?
But do you think genetically would that be passed on if she just does an MSE? Does the wider MSE jaw get passed on?
It's not going to be passed on. I know epigenetics, you're talking about that. So if you want to inhibit epigenetics, you got to supplement the kid on vitamins, and you got to make sure that woman breastfeeds that motherfucker every single day, that baby every fucking day. That way you can prevent any genes from turning on and make sure every gene that's negative turns off and the other gene turns on. That's how you do that. All things can change. Anything can be altered, almost at even time. We just don't know how to do it yet.
When you have a serious girlfriend, are you going to have conversations with her while you're dating about how you expect breastfeeding? Is that a conversation you're going to have very early on? Very early on in a relationship, will you broach the subject of how important it is that for your baby to be breastfed?
Oh my gosh, I will definitely. I'll definitely broach that. Oh my gosh. It's imperative that all women know how to take care of their child, because the child is like a building. If you build the foundation the wrong way, the whole building will topple or seem to look like it's toppling, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's very imperative. My God, I cannot say that enough. If the woman does not know how to raise a child, the child will cannot come out 100%. Okay, that's 100% true. My mom fed me well, thank God, but she did not. Obviously in the very beginning, she was giving me baby formula. That's probably how this all happened. I'm not sure actually, because I actually there's a scan. I got my CBC scan. So if you see, I have a friend. His name is Josh. His CBC scan showed that his whole nose is already deviating to I think it was the right or the left side, and that's interesting because my nose doesn't start deviating until it's at maybe the very front, actually. That's when a septal spur starts to form. So I know when I was a baby, I was actually sleeping very good. I was fine, so on. Like everything was good. It was up until the age of like about 6 or 7 years old. Something wrong. Something happened. Something stupid happened. I think it was from, and they say it can happen when the, they say that, the septum tends to want to deviate to the left or right. It wants to move. It's very weak. It's a very weak structure, the septum, while it's developing. And if there's not enough vitamin K in the body, the septum is more likely to deviate than average. Basically, it's more likely to deviate than it should, because of the lack of vitamin K and also vitamin D. And K is actually produced in your gut. So if the baby is not producing enough vitamin K, it's more likely that his septum will deviate. So septal deviation, and actually I have proof on this because there was a pregnant mother that took warfarin, a blood thinning drug that actually inhibits vitamin K production. Guess how the baby came out?
Bad.
Like this.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow.
So that's how I know for a fact that I'm right. And if you think I'm wrong, you can look at other research that actually indicates that vitamin K is very, very fucking important for that structure to form. The bottom and the top. Vitamin K should be your best friend. You should be obsessed with it especially with your babies. Like if you plan on having a kid, make sure your wife is taking at least 100 micrograms of vitamin K2, MK7, not 4, not 1, not vitamin K1. MK7, that's the one that you want. That will make sure your kid comes out with a normal fucking face, and make sure they're not taking any medications that inhibit vitamin K production. They could take medications. I would say honestly not at all. Really, it sounds like I'm an extremist, but again, sometimes it's fine to take medications. I don't know. That's what some people are saying. I'm just agreeing with it. Because in some instances it could be that the problem is just so stubborn that it won't fucking leave. So
what else is really important for raising a kid?
The environment they're in, the house they're in. You don't want the house to have asbestos, or you don't want the pipes. Oh my God. I'm so obsessed with pipes now. Every time I go into a shul, a synagogue, or a church, or a store, I look at the pipe. I think about the pipes. Like, is it lead pipes? Because lead pipes inhibit vitamin K production. They inhibit growth factor. They actually cause cancer. How do you call it? They actually inhibit gray matter production, gray matter to white matter, or neurogenesis. They inhibit neurogenesis. So that means they're inhibiting how do you call it? Epithelial growth. Not epithelial growth. No, how do you call it? I think it was sedentary neurogenesis. And then there was another thing. No, that's it actually. That was it. And if it's doing that, then obviously it's going to cause. That's also going to cause a jaw recession. But actually, not always though. Not always though. Sometimes it won't affect the gut. Sometimes it'll just affect the brain. But again, one thing we know for a fact is that if the vitamin K in the baby is low, that baby's in danger of developing a deviated septum or being born with a deviated septum while in the mother's womb. So yeah, it's very imperative to be taking vitamin K. And then the environment, right? So yeah, the pipes and then the walls. You want to make sure they're sheetrock is good. Cement would be better, and then sheetrock over it. That would be much better because then it's less likely for mold to develop in between.
What about Wi-Fi? What about Wi-Fi and stuff?
Wi-Fi, yeah, Wi-Fi is like, oh my God. That's a big one because you have scientists who agree that it's bad for you, and you have some scientists that agree that it's not. And then you have most of the scientists agreeing that it isn't, and some of the scientists agreeing that it is bad. It's so hard. I mean, again, EMF radiation is definitely bad for you. You should definitely try to steer clear of it. Try to avoid it as much as possible, especially if okay. Let me just make it straight. Let me just make it as blunt. Let me just put this as bluntly as possible. Do not give your wife a phone. Don't let her have a phone like next to her if you want to be extreme. That's the truth.
Why?
Like the phones themselves, the phones carry the most EMF radiation, especially when they're on call mode. But when they're not on call mode, they're releasing maybe 1.0 something on the frequency scale. I forgot what.
Like if it's on airplane mode?
Airplane mode's fine, actually. Airplane mode, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen to her. But do not leave a phone next to her that's active on. Airplane mode, definitely nothing will happen.
Why? What happens? What happens to the baby?
What happens to the baby? That can, have serious implications on general development, if anything, brain development and structural development, actually, as a whole. Also, the genes inside epigenetics, actually, it would probably cause the worst genes to turn on. Okay, so I could still lock the door. I'll lock the door. Over there, Yehuda locks. Nothing over there. My juice is there. My green juice. It's in the fridge. Don't worry about it.
Green juice? What the fuck are you drinking green juice for?
It's
not
actually
mewing.
No, it's for my nerves. It's for my nerves.
You don't chew it though.
I should chew it. I know. I just hate. I should be chewing. I know.
Come on, juice. You're gonna come on JawHacks and drink juice?
I know. It's so ironic. I should be chewing. Yeah, I do chew a lot. I used to chew a lot, and then I stopped doing it. I don't know out of nowhere. I just stopped.
What do you think of MSE versus tooth-borne expanders?
I hate tooth-borne expanders. You're trying to kill. Okay, so let's go back to the environment thing, though. I want to just go back to that.
Wrap that up for me.
So yeah, in the house, you want to make sure the house is not from before 1986. I think it was 1986. Because if it is, chances are there could be lead pipes. Always call whatever phone number it is. You have to call your government and let them know you want to test your water. Get a sample. Have them send you the sample tubes. Oh my gosh.
What about in a new house? Bottles. Would you do PEX pipes or would you do copper pipes?
Copper, not PEX, because they release microplastics. I'd rather replace the copper pipes every 45 years than deal with microplastics being in my children's bodies to linger for the rest of their remaining life expectancy. You know what I mean? I'd rather it be copper because copper eventually leaves the body, and microplastics will never leave the body once it's inside. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'd rather do copper and replace it every 45 years. Sometimes the old-fashioned way is the best way.
What about pets?
Pets. So yeah, you want a pet that's hypoallergenic because there could be a small chance that the kid's gonna have allergies. So try to have a hypoallergenic pet if you're gonna have any pets for therapeutic reasons or just for amusement. You want to definitely not a dog, definitely not a cat. A rabbit's really good. I have a rabbit at home. I've always had rabbits.
You have a pet rabbit?
Yeah, I've had pet rabbits throughout my entire life, actually.
Do you eat them?
No, we don't eat rabbits.
I know a guy who keeps rabbits and he slaughters them and eats them.
What the fuck is wrong with him? That's fucked up.
Bro, rabbit's delicious.
Do you eat rabbit?
Meat? Do you eat meat? I haven't ever eaten rabbit, but
I love
would
meat.
Eat it.
I love meat. I mean, but I know it's not hypocritical for me to say that killing rabbits are fucked up and killing cows is not. I'm gonna have to kill the cow either way. It's like, what are you trying to say? If rabbits killing, I sound like a liberal now. Oh my god, I contradicted myself. Whatever, just it's a fucking rabbit. It reminds me of my rabbit. What the fuck?
Do you keep kosher?
Yeah, I do. I do try to keep kosher. I
Do
try
you
to.
think there's health wisdom in that?
Yes, there actually is. There definitely is. Like you're actually steering clear of all the dumbest possible things that could be in those pipes that they use to actually transfer all that stuff that they're putting into your food. Because the how do you call it? If you go to a facility where they manufacture herbs, and a company comes in, decides to put a form of a derivative of pork into the herbal supplement to make it more absorbable, or to keep its composition normal, to keep it from settling, like how a lot of things tend to settle, or to keep it from breaking apart, like xanthan gum is really good for that. That's going to be in the pipes, and that's going to stay. We believe that once it touches the pipes once, it's contaminated forever. And actually, it's kind of true, because the companies can clean it all they want, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be a small amount, a smidgen, like in the very corners of the piping. Like you could put all the lecithin. Lecithin is really good for piping to keep the stuff moving. But you could put a million pounds of lecithin. There's still going to be maybe a microscopic amount of that stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And we just don't believe pork is good. There's so many contradictions, and there's so much controversy surrounding whether or not pork is good or bad for you. I always want to say myself, I actually think it is good for you, just in if you consume it the right way, though. But I personally would never consume it. But as an open-minded person, I can acknowledge the fact that it is actually good for you, because there are ways to eat it in a manner that will benefit your well-being.
It's cheap too. Compared to beef, it's way less expensive.
No, farmer's market, yeah, but not the farmer's market one. That's not cheap.
No, you want to get farm-raised pork is more expensive. You're right about that.
Pasture-raised, yeah, pasture-raised, not farm-raised. It's farm-raised fish is not good. Farm-raised beef is, they load it with steroids and hormones. You want to do pasture-raised, because pasture-raised they don't inject it with hormones and steroids.
The animals can move, and that's very healthy for them.
Yeah, they can roam around and be themselves. Not have pounds of makeup all over them. Metaphorically speaking. Makeup meaning the steroids and hormones. To make them look big. Yeah, that's a good way of using the word makeup, actually. Wow. What was it again? Tell me
about your orthodontics. I want to hear this high-powered mind of yours applied to orthodontic matters, and your thoughts on appliances.
Yeah, but I hope you're not saying it because you think I have the Dunning-Kruger effect. I studied a lot about that, actually. I know for a fact I do not.
What's that? I don't even know what that is.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is basically the effect that states that the person will think he's extremely competent when actually he's probably average or suboptimal.
I don't think that at all. I just think you're a smart guy, and you know a lot about everything you talk about, and I just want to hear what you have to say about the subject matter that I talk about, which is orthodontics.
Yeah, it's a complex. I always feel like everyone thinks that I think I'm smart just because I know certain. Because my brother kind of fucked me up. My older brother, he basically said, "Oh, you're just saying these." From when I was a kid, he called me retarded and said that I just say a bunch of words to sound smart. And with the IQ tests, even with like literally everything, like my school giving me honors in every class, and I got honors in every single class in middle school. I graduated as a student ambassador. I was gonna get the Honor Society award, because I was I always had the highest grades in middle school, and in high school I had the highest grades until until I started having fornicating basically.
Did that cloud your mind?
Yeah, it did. It does cloud your mind when you F around, basically, because
you lost your edge.
It's like a drug. Yeah, it's like a drug. Sex is like a drug.
Do you think the story of Samson and Delilah in the Bible, when he cuts his hair, is that and he loses his strength, is that like him ejaculating and losing his strength? Is that what that story is about?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like every time you do that, when you masturbate, you lower your will. It really does lower your willpower. There's a lot of proof that it does. When you abstain from masturbation, the people who are abstaining, they showed significant improvements, maybe 15 to 20% improvements in their cognitive performance, memory, and verbal learning. Verbal memory was actually the most significant. It was actually I think it was 33%, which is fucking crazy. I was like, what the hell? The speed increased by 1/3. Like what? Like that means the guy was remembering things maybe 20 seconds faster than the day before. I mean, than the week before. Like it's like what? Like just from abstaining for a week, bro. I'm talking about like a week, or I think it was a week, or the study was a month. I'm not 100% sure, but the guys, the participants, their verbal memory increased by 33%. Their speed, verbal fluency also improved by, I think it was like 15%. It's crazy. Like just stopping, just abstaining from doing such a stupid thing can make you smarter. But the effects are actually not long lasting. They're actually short lasting. Like it goes back down. Like the effects actually, the dramatic, like it's like a drug. Not abstaining from masturbation is also in itself a drug because it's like a rush. Your body's like saying, "What the fuck? What are you not doing?" And it's actually a good type of withdrawal because your body's trying to find a way to cope with that anxiety by making more focus on other things. And you tend to want to focus on those things because of the fact that you're not doing the thing that you really want to do that's giving you anxiety in the first place. So you're coping by being more focused. And I think that's what's causing the participants scores to go up so drastically after abstaining for just a short period of time, like a month. I think it was a month, yeah, a month or a week. I forget, but yeah.
Yeah. So you don't fap.
I do, but I try not to.
So you do fap.
Yeah, but I try not to. I was doing it 10, 20 times. It's a serious subject. I hate it.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. Trust me. I personally think the key to monogamy and the key to a long-term relationship is to not watch porn.
I'm trying to stay away from that. The last time I did it was yesterday, actually. It's effed up. And the day before that, like at least I do it once because of the stupid thing in my jaw. It made it much more likely for me to actually do those stupid things. Like the sleep apnea made it more likely for me to want to cope by spiking my dopamine, my baseline dopamine levels. And what spikes your baseline dopamine levels better than masturbation, bro? Like, come on. I mean, the second best thing would be Coke. And I chose masturbation over Coke every time, bro, because Coke will fuck me up definitely, like completely. I will not have the same brain I had before. I mean, again, also the same thing with masturbation, that too. But just not as great as fucking crack, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have some common sense, you know?
Bro, I could imagine you on crack or you on cocaine. I think you would literally, like, smoke would start coming out of your ears and you would fucking implode.
Like that. Yeah, someone said, like, do not take, like, I tell them, like, people ask me if I'm on coffee. I'm like, if I'm on coffee, I would be 4 times me. I don't want to be 4 times me because that person is very impatient and cannot deal with people when he's that quick. I cannot deal with people. Like, people tell me I'm brilliant, but I don't believe it. I feel like I'm like everybody else, but that I just happen to have a very fast processing speed. That's all it is. Like, because I don't have so much access to my brain because, like, again, the malocclusion is inhibiting my recall, my verbal recall. Not my verbal, I'm sorry, my memory recall.
So let's go there. Let's go there. Tell me about JawHacking. What do you think? I mean, you must understand that stuff well. What do you think about MSD?
All you students out there that are watching this, guys, if you have any sort of malocclusion, if you have bruxism, if anyone told you chew on your teeth at night, your cognition is being inhibited by 20%, and you're working harder than you should, actually, because your body is the only reason why you're putting 30 to maybe 50 minutes extra on that math on that homework. Okay, I'm sorry, on that homework lesson, and you're putting maybe 2 hours extra into studying. The only reason why that's happening is because you're not consolidating enough memory because your brain's not getting enough REM sleep. And the only reason why that's happening is because bruxism actually inhibits REM sleep. And what is associated with REM sleep? IQ. IQ is actually IQ and REM sleep are actually very well associated with one another. If your REM sleep's too low, your memory consolidation is going to be shit, and how well you store your memory is basically going to be crap. And because of that, you won't be able to study as fast. And you won't be able to get to the point as quicker as everybody else. And also how well you can use your brain fluidly, like on a daily basis, like in class, is actually impacted too. Like the reason why you raised your hand by mistake or have a heart attack or was diagnosed with ADHD actually is a sleep-related. ADHD is literally a sleep-related breathing disorder. If you're given Adderall, Vyvanse, or any stimulant whatsoever as a kid, you have sleep apnea or you have some sort of sleep-related breathing issue, sleep-related breathing disorder that's causing resistance in your airway. That's not enough to trigger the machine to detect sleep apnea. I know this from experience. That's why.
Were you prescribed Adderall as a child?
Yes, I was prescribed Adderall as a 16-year-old, unfortunately. 15, 16-year-old. Thank God I was 15, 16. I was regretting that I wasn't prescribed sooner, but then again, Adderall actually inhibits brain development. They'll say all they want that it doesn't. I know for a fact it does, because at the end of the day, it's common sense. Drugs inhibit brain development, guys. Realize that already. Even if the clinical research says no, it does. I know for a fact it does, because it's still a stimulant. It's still a fucking drug, and it's a pharmaceutical drug, and any pharmaceutical drug that includes even blood thinning medication will inhibit development in any way, shape, or form. It's all associated with one another. I mean, again, people will say correlation is causation. Fine, live with that. Live with that idea. Hope that gets you somewhere. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to give my kids ADHD medication if they're diagnosed with ADHD. I'm going to give them the right treatment, which is give them a drug-induced sleep endoscopy, check where the resistance is coming from, and then solve that. And if it's not a resistance issue, if I couldn't find anything on the sleep endoscopy, some people are saying that the sleep endoscopy is not 100% accurate for detecting resistance because they say that it could over-relax the throat. That's bullshit because I tested myself, and when I was sleeping like this, I slept perfectly. And when I actually sleep at night, I sleep perfectly like that. So what the hell are you trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, getting back to the point. If it's not that, then it's probably a nutritional deficiency like magnesium or vitamin D or vitamin K or B12 or any of the B vitamins, basically. Or it could be a gut issue. It could be the gut doesn't have enough probiotics to absorb food properly. And that's causing the nutritional deficiencies in the first place. So you want to take a good probiotic then. Not a cheap one, though. You want one that's clinically proven to work. And that one that just says on the front of the bottle, clinically proven to work. But one that you see on the back has the trademarks and the certifications that prove these probiotics are from these specific companies are reputable and are known to actually have probiotics that work, that actually change your quality of life, that actually have an impact on your baseline serotonin, baseline dopamine, baseline norepinephrine, baseline, basically every neurotransmitter in your brain, including acetylcholine. That's my favorite one. Because acetylcholine basically is the cognition neurotransmitter.
What are your favorite brands for supplements?
So that would be, it's a Jewish company, NutriSupreme, Life Extensions, my second favorite. And then you have, Mediterranean Balance is NutriSupreme, so it's not really counted. So NutriSupreme and Mediterranean Balance are my two favorite companies. And then comes Life Extension, and then comes, I think that's it, actually.
What about pure encapsulations?
Metabolic maintenance. Holy shit, metabolic maintenance, guys. Look it up. Metabolic maintenance. Not pharmaceuticals. Metabolic maintenance research. That company is very good for B vitamins. What else?
What about pure encapsulations?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good company too. But their quality.
Not Nestle though, right? We don't like Nestle.
No. Because by the way, actually, I have proof that the vitamins from Garden of Life are shit. The whole food supplement thing is a scam. Online will agree with it, but online doesn't mean anything. But if you think about it, all plants carry lead, all plants carry arsenic, and if you concentrate it to a very small form, it will tend to be very high in concentration. Actually, when you concentrate anything, when you concentrate a whole volume of this into this, you're gonna get all that lead from this from something of this mass. Okay,
it's like eating
into
tuna
one little
fish.
pill. So every time you're consuming you're basically consuming lead. You're giving people lead, basically.
It's like taking a tuna fish pill. What do you think about multivitamin?
Exactly. You're taking mercury, basically. You're doing that also.
What about multivitamins versus separate pills for each vitamin?
Multivitamins are very good. Just you don't want to take the ones that have the whole food bullshit in it, because that's all it's going to do is actually inhibit the absorption of the food itself. And you want good forms of multivitamins. You want the gentle ones, the ones that are made out of that are bonded to glycine. So there are 5 different types, or maybe 20 different types of the same vitamin, actually. And you want the ones that are most bioavailable and the most absorbable and the most gentle in the stomach and the intestines.
What do you think about that shit Liver King sells, the animal
fraud.
Organ?
I don't even have to know. That guy's a fraud. You already know. It just, you know what I mean? Like,
but Paul Saladino sells it too. He calls it Heart and Soil. It's basically just liver and other organ meats and in the form of a pill.
Actually, fine. He has a point. That is good shit. But I wouldn't trust him with it. It's not about, my brain thinks like this. I control for confirmation biases and cognitive biases. I try to control for those two things. Meaning, what I think is good because of something else, I try to control for that. And cognitive bias is like, oh yeah, because of this, because this happened. Oh, this should happen too. And you know what I mean? That's I think that's cognitive biases. So you want to always, it's very important that you control for those two things. And if you see that this guy already lied over here, why the fuck would I want to trust him here? Even if he has something that actually is good, I wouldn't trust his tools, his ways of doing it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't trust his form of it. I would trust someone else that's more reputable, that has a better reputation than him. I'm sorry, not than him. That has a reputation that isn't tarnished. Than someone that has a reputation that's already been tarnished in a way that's honestly, I don't know, that can't be fixed really. If you just told the entire world that you don't take steroids, I'm sorry, that you consume this and that's how you got this, and then we find out later that you were taking steroids all the time. It's like, yo, what the fuck? It's the only reason why you got famous, and that's the only reason why you're able to manufacture those vitamins in the first place.
Do you fuck with raw dairy?
I'm sorry?
Do you fuck with raw dairy?
I love dairy. Raw dairy is very good. Raw dairy is good.
Can you get that in Brooklyn?
I wish. I mean, I think you could. Yeah, you could. I hate the government because they're trying to control the people. They're trying to keep people from getting it. And actually, you know what's funny? You know what's ironic about that? Keeping people from consuming raw milk actually keeps them from getting adequate amounts of probiotics every single day. In this day and age, it's so hard to get probiotics from vegetables. The only source we should be turning to really is raw milk. Because of that, because probiotics, the vegetables today don't have the same amount of probiotics they had 100 years ago. I don't know if you know, 200 years ago. Yeah. So the milk, actually, I think it stayed the same. The amount of probiotics in milk actually probably stayed the same. But then again, the environment for the cows changed, so that's probably wrong. But they're more isolated though. Like they tend to not disappear because they stay in the fridge. So the environment for those probiotics are actually 100% ideal. So they'll definitely the colony forming units the amount of colony forming units inside like 20 billion CFUs. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. It'll tend to stay the same in milk compared to vegetables because the vegetables stay outside. They can stay in the fridge sometimes. People leave the tomatoes, but then it gets exposed to the sun. It gets exposed to vinaigrettes, sauces. People tend to eat it alongside something else. With milk, you tend to drink it alone. If it's raw milk, obviously, you'll tend to drink it alone.
What do you think about nicotine?
Nicotine's actually pretty good for you. It's just the problem is we don't know how to use it yet. We don't know how to use that drug yet.
Do you do like Zyn pouches or anything like that?
I would never do them though because we don't know how to use it yet. I believe that it can work. It's a good tool. There's actually a neuroscientist that talks about it on YouTube. And the thing is that we're using tar to inhale it. That's the problem now. And even
if it's tobacco though, but Zyn is tobacco-less.
Yeah. And if we use patches. If we're using patches, fine, we're doing it right, but we're not. I don't think it's being released at the right rate. So we have to find a way to release it so that the body doesn't get addicted to it. Like it's able to regulate. Like it should have like a regulator inside to regulate your nicotine levels in your bloodstream to keep it at levels where it would not cause addiction. Won't have a potentiation for addiction basically. And if we find a way to do that, then we can finally utilize that drug as a tool. But until then, I'm never going to touch it.
What do you think about AGA? DNA.
AGA's a fraud, already. And what else?
DNA.
Is it tooth porn?
Vivos. Yeah.
It's probably a fraud.
Homeoblock.
Anything that Homeoblock is a fraud. That's tooth porn expansion. You're not going to fix sleep apnea with tooth porn expansion. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what the hell? You're not altering the entire craniofacial anatomy. What the hell are you? You're just moving clay within the exact same structure. You're moving teeth. Corpse teeth from a corpse inside a clay structure, basically. That's what you're doing, really. You're not actually fixing the whole structure as a whole. If you want to be a true integrative thinker, a true genius, you got to fix the fundamental issue, which is the whole structure itself, the bigger picture. You have to think like a genius in order to be a genius. But then again, that's not, you know what I mean? Like not to literally be a genius, but like to whatever. You get the point.
So what do you like? What do you like? Bone-born?
I like not bone-born, skeletal expansion.
Yeah, skeletal
expansion is the best.
Double jaw surgery, MSE, what else?
MSDO and MSD are my two favorite operations actually. Those are the two because it's distraction. Everyone loves distraction. I think everyone that's into your channel likes distraction because it's not surgery. You're doing really just you're putting 4 screws here or here, and you're just pushing something up. You're doing a little surgery here. Don't get me wrong. Maybe a little surgery here, like a slice. But you're not doing severe surgery like jaw surgery. I hate jaw surgery, but I have to do it.
You wouldn't get jaw surgery?
If I had a chance not to, I would. I would not get it.
But if you had to, you would, though.
Yeah, I have to. At this point.
Oh, you're going to get double jaw surgery?
Yeah, because my brain's still developing. I cannot wait another 10 years for society to advance so much that, medicine advances so much that we can actually reverse the damage that was caused to my face. I'm not waiting 10 years, bro. I can't be 32 years old talking to you now about the same subject. You know what I mean? I got to get this done now.
What kind of jaw surgery would you get? Like what features would you look for in a surgeon and in a surgery?
Counterclockwise rotation, bilateral sagittal split osteotomy, along with Lafort 3, or was it a Lafort 1? Lafort 1 osteotomy. You want to cut
standard.
Yeah, that should be the standard, basically.
Yeah.
But Lafort, I don't think the guy's gonna do Lafort 1 on me. I think he's just gonna slice over here and not slice over. Lafort 1's over here, right? I think
that's Lafort 3 is up here.
Yeah. So Lafort 1's here, right? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lafort 1 is right here.
Yeah. I have to stop smoking weed. Okay. Yeah, I smoke weed literally every day, 1.5 grams a day, sometimes more than 1.5 grams a day, more 4.5 grams sometimes. And I can talk like this.
Why do you like weed so
Imagine,
much? Because of the way because of how it makes you think about things? Does it make you think about things in a fun way?
no, yeah, it makes me think about things, and it basically ameliorates my symptoms. My actually helps. It's also a form of, I use it as a form of therapy too. Like it actually gives me anxiety sometimes, but I use that as a weapon, like to say to myself, look, I dealt with this amount of anxiety. I can deal with what I'm feeling right now. So while sober, you know what I mean?
Like you induce a bad trip and then you get through it and then you
On
feel
purpose,
better.
yeah. Just so I can feel like I got out of something. That way I can have that sense of appreciation for my life. That way I won't, you know. Sometimes I feel like that because like I have so much damage now. Like I basically damaged my autonomic nervous system by having somebody, you know, again, the cartilage implants. So he severed two nerves, and it's getting better now since I've been consuming, you know, the 14 supplements, but I have to go to a doctor to get something that'll basically turn off and turn on the nerves over there, the structures there, the olfactory neurons basically. Because they're still, I think they're inactive. They might fold inward. If they fold inward, I'm screwed because then they're never going to reconnect. So I basically have to go to somebody who's going to spray and anesthesia. Anesthesia can actually reboot nerves. Anesthesia to kind of do this. Look, let me show you, to uncurl those neurons, that way they can reconnect and then go back to what they were before. So right now they're like this. And because of that, my nose isn't closing like it used to. It used to like get fully blocked on this side and then, you know, be fully open on this side. Now it gets like blocked, but I could still like blow air in it. It used to get fully blocked. And I only did this these cartilage implants to lower the amount of pain-C in my nose because I had too much pain-C. And it wasn't really too much pain-C. It was just the fact that my other surgeon removed too much cartilage from my nostrils and didn't put enough bone grafting on both sides of my nose.
Damn, bro, you've been through the ringer.
Yeah, basically, I've been put to. I deal with it now. My heart still pounds. Like even after this is over, my heart's still gonna pound a little off. Like it's retarded. And I hope it goes away. It was really bad. Like for the last 2 weeks, man, it's been really nuts. But yeah, let's get to the other thing.
Someone asked me for a smile.
Yeah. Oh, you right? Okay.
My smile's still a little fucked up, Arnold Palmer.
Oh, let me see your smile. Oh my gosh. Wow. No, it's not as bad as before though. Holy shit.
It's still canted. And
I
still have a gap right here.
Oh shit. I see. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, Aga. Fuck, man. I wish you knew. I wish you would have waited. Like, I wish I would have waited. Fuck. It's crazy. Oh, wow. It's so funny the way you're doing that. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, you want to Dr. Waleem is like the only jaw surgeon I would recommend so far. Like, because
someone is talking about Waleem. Shukai is talking about Waleem.
Yeah, he's the only guy I would recommend because Shukai, not just because of him, because of God. Because I happened to find a YouTube video that talked about Dr. Waleem, so it's also a little bit of cognitive bias, a little bit of confirmation bias. So, and the guy got really successful results from Dr. Waleem. Actually, very, very good results. And so it's because of the two people, Shui Kai and that other guy.
Why is Waleem so special? What does he do differently from other people as a surgeon?
He's very careful. He's a very careful surgeon. He's just a very careful surgeon, a very careful maxillofacial surgeon. He's very conscientious with what he does. Like he this is what I'm hearing. I can't say 100%. Again, I could be wrong. Everyone's subject to infallibility. I'm sorry. So is that right? I can't even.
Yeah, oh no, he's not infallible.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No one is.
Oh my God, my brain's farting like crazy. I can't even. I still do like I have.
You done, bro? You want to wrap up? Are you? Is your candle reaching its end?
No, my candle's not reaching its end. Just infallibility and fallible. Fallible means not capable of being wrong, right?
Yeah, infallible means not capable of being wrong.
Yeah. No, yeah. So exactly. You see what I mean? Like, I fucking swear. I'm not usually like this. It's just because I smoke too much weed, man. It's so fucking annoying.
Also, you're on live TV for the first time. I guess your nerves are understandable. But I think you're doing great, man. Sorry, I'm just caught up in some of these comments.
Sure. So yeah, there's a lot we can talk about actually. So dentistry actually. So a lot of dentists, they choose to use.
Let me let me just address something from Sagovena. Sagovena, obviously, MSE has downsides. I don't think there's
Yeah.
anyone on the internet that's done more videos on the risks and downsides of MSE than me. I've literally had some of the most extreme MSE asymmetry overexpansion cases on my channel. I'm constantly warning people about the risks of MSE and about how important it is to vet your provider and to make sure that you don't get fucking, canted, overexpanded into an asymmetry, failure to split by not having sufficient surgical assist. No, I've never been a Skittles and Rainbow MSE guy where it's all perfect with MSE. No, never. Obviously, every treatment comes with can be fucked up if the provider botches it or rushes through it or is inexperienced. But yeah, Yoel, continue.
Yeah, so dentists, a lot of dentists like to use fillings that are actually how do you call it? Are actually detrimental to people's health, like amalgam fillings.
Yeah, of course.
Why the fuck are we still using them when they're clearly illegal in
for the same reason that we're still extracting teeth?
I know, it's so fucked up though, because we know it affects the estrogen levels. We know, and I have dentists who tell me straight in my face that they do, that they know this fact, and they don't use it. But some dentists they don't know it, or they do know it, but they're not extreme enough to actually fix the problem. To eliminate it from their institution, from their clinic, because insurance doesn't cover porcelain or ceramic composite fillings. And that's it's really all connected. That's why I don't like the government, because they want you to conform with a system that doesn't really work that well. And that's why they have to stop getting involved in the medical system. Just stay where you are. Stay in politics. Don't get involved in medicine, please God, and don't get involved in school. Let someone else do that. Really, let someone like we should have a separate organization for that. Again, that's regulated by the government, but
it's the CDC.
Yeah, Central Disease Control.
Yoel, I got a wrap. It's been a long day for me. It's 7:30, 6 p.m. my time. So I'm reaching my end. I would love to keep going, but let's wrap it here.
So can I, am I able to have are we able to, do more YouTube videos like this? Like sort of
you want to come on? You want to come on again in the future?
Yeah, like a channel. Can I join your channel basically? Is that possible?
Tell me what that would look like for you.
So basically I start talking about, vitamins and how they affect, the mandibular maxillary development. And also, let me see what else. And also sleep positions, and what are the best sleep positions? How to, the best spots to put your pillows, what type of pillows to buy, what type of mattress to get, what type of sheets to get. Like, I'll literally teach people how to sleep perfectly every night with their sleep-related issues, enough so that they don't feel so debilitated they can't work and generate enough income to fix their problem with money. Basically, I can help you guys make money. Basically, I can help anyone that watches my videos will know how to make money while having issues with their sleep.
Yoel, anytime someone asks me if they can be part of the channel, I always say, I'd love for you to contribute to the channel. Make a video. If it's a good video, I'll post it.
Okay.
So, talk is cheap. If you want to make a video about sleeping posture, if you want to make a video about supplementing expansion, just do it.
Okay.
We can put your name on it. We can link to your channel.
No, I don't want my channel. I don't want a channel. I just want to be with you. I just want to join. I just want to.
So what would a video look like? Would it be us together? Would it be you talking? Would it be you writing a script and then me reading it? What does that look like?
So it would be us working together on the same video. We'll be working on the same video together. We'll be working together as a team, basically.
What do you mean working on it? So what is it like? We're going to work to write it, or we're going to
work to write what goes on. What do you think? Basically what will happen in the video, the introduction you can do. Obviously we'll work to, I want you to, basically do the front of the video, like what's going to happen in the introduction. But obviously, in between, we should work together on it. Based on my personal experience and based on your personal experience, what seems like the best fit for the video, like for instructions on how to sleep ideally in bed. I mean, you've done it already, but I want to make a all-in-one video, and also on what job to pick while you have sleep apnea, like the type of job that can help you